Shaurya and Sane. You are hardcore fans, and this is our Friday football fantasy predictions.
Yes, sorry it's on Saturday, but yeah, so let's get straight into it. But Sane will just say this first.
Yeah, so before we get into this week's predictions, let's just have a quick roundup of last week's scores. This last 2 game weeks have been absolutely horrible to predict, as there have been many unexpected results. So last week I got 1 point, Southampton got 4 points, and Shaurya got 4 points, which leads Shaurya in the lead with 40 points, me second with 30 points, and Southampton 31 points.
Yes, by the way, yeah, Southampton, me first with 40, Southampton second with 31, Sane third with 30. It's tight between Southampton and Sane, but it's safe to say I'm running away with it. But this could all change, I'm telling you. Let's get on with the predictions.
The first match of the game week, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Last week, Crystal Palace played out a 1-1 draw against West Ham with a wonder goal by Sebastian Haller. But I think Liverpool are just a bit too good, and Liverpool will win 2-1.
Liverpool just last game week, they won against Spurs 2-1. Firmino grabbing his late goal and probably one of his only goals that he's going to score in his whole career. No, I'm just joking, sorry. And so they beat Spurs, and I don't think that Palace are better than Spurs, and Liverpool will win 3-1. And a quick disclaimer is that this is being recorded before the Liverpool-Palace match.
I think that Liverpool will win 4-0. They're just far too good for Palace.
Next up, Southampton versus Man City. Last year, this fixture ended 1-0 Southampton with a wonder strike from halfway by Che Adams. And I think, with an amazing start Southampton have had this season, and I think they will shock everyone and beat Man City 2-1.
Southampton are definitely a great team with Ward-Prowse, Che Adams, and Danny Ings. I think recently came back from an injury. But personally, I think Man City are too good for them, and they're going to win 2-1.
Man City weren't good for West Brom. I don't think they will win.
Yeah, I think that City will win 3-1. I mean, Southampton have had a brilliant start, but City have had a resurgence recently.
Next up, Everton versus Arsenal. And finally, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has ended his goal drought with a goal against Southampton. But I think Everton will win 2-0, as they have been in amazing form, beating Chelsea and Leicester, 2 of the best teams in the season so far.
Same as Sunday, even I feel that Everton are a much better team than Arsenal. I might even think that they're gonna finish in a Europa League spot. Champions League might be a bit of a stretch, but Europa League is definitely possible for them this season. And Arsenal, a terrible start to the season. I think they're 15th or 14th right now. I'm not 100% sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And I think that Everton will win 3-0.
I think that Everton will win 3-1 to this abysmal Arsenal side, who are currently 15th, by the way, Southampton. And they could potentially fall if they can't potentially fall. However, they're just above Brighton, Burnley, and then Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United in the relegation zone.
Next up, Newcastle versus Fulham. Fulham played out a 0-0 draw versus Brighton. But the highlight of last week was a 5-2 win for Leicester against Newcastle. And I think this match will end 2-2.
I think that Fulham, a great team they are. They have been recently promoted, and not same as Newcastle, but I think that Fulham will win 2-1.
I think that Fulham will win 1-0 after they're pretty. But they played out a drab draw, but I'm sure that they can beat Newcastle.
Next up, Brighton versus Sheffield United. And Sheffield United have broken records, but in a bad way. This is the worst ever start for a team in the Premier League era. And I think Brighton will add to their misery and they will lose 1-0.
Same as Sunny, even I feel once again that Sheffield United have had an abysmal start to the season, only getting 1 point the whole season. And Brighton, a decent start for them. Not too great, but not too bad. But I think Brighton will win 2-1.
Just a bit about Sheffield United. They are 9 points are in deep into the relegation zone. Bottom of the table, of course, worst start after 13 games. The relegation could be confirmed by March, maybe, if they carry on this terrible form. I think that definitely it will be a 1-0 win to Brighton, though, as I think that surely Sheffield can at least maybe give a fight, though.
Next up, a massive game, Spurs versus Leicester. Both teams lost last week, and I think Spurs will bounce back from that defeat to Liverpool and win 3-0.
Spurs did lose to Liverpool last game week, but I think Spurs were quite unlucky, both by missing 2 huge chances that could have easily been converted. And I think that Spurs will win 2-0.
I think that Leicester, they've of course lost to Spurs. I think they're just not clinical enough. I think it'll be very similar to the Liverpool Spurs game. I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Leicester. Spurs, they just need to be more clinical. The Jose Mourinho style is working with the parking the bus counter-attack. They just need to be good in the final third.
And next up, we have another huge game, the Battle of the Roses, Leeds United versus Manchester United. Everyone has been waiting for this derby since 2004, and we finally have it. And I think Leeds and Man U will play out an entertaining 1-1 draw.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest derbies in the north, if not the biggest. And Leeds, a newly promoted side versus Man U, my team's rival, Man City. But I still think that Man U will come away with a 1-0 win.
I think that Man U, they're doing okay, but I think that Leeds have been pretty decent under Marcelo Bielsa, and I think they can play out a 2-1 win for them.
Next up, West Brom versus Villa. And great news, everyone, Sam Allardyce is back in the Premier League. And I think West Brom will absolutely wreck Burnley with a parking the bus tactic and win 1-0 with a late goal by the Chelsea loanee Conor Gallagher.
So Sam Allardyce is finally back in the Prem with West Brom, but I still think that Villa will be able to win, and they will come away with a 1-0 win.
I think that Big Sam is finally back in the Premier League, and I think that he can start off with a bang with a 2-1 win.
Just a little disclaimer. I think West Brom will be able to survive this season. Sam Allardyce has had the best record in the Prem. He has never been relegated in the 5 clubs he has managed, and all were in the relegation zone when he started managing. So, an amazing career for Sam Allardyce. Next up, Burnley versus Wolves. Last week Burnley played out a 0-0 draw versus Villa, and Wolves beat Chelsea 2-1 with Podence an absolute star. One to watch out in the future. So, and I think Wolves will be able to win 2-1 versus Burnley.
So, Jimenez-less team of Wolves, they have definitely been dented without Jimenez. Probably their main man, if not their main, one of their biggest stars, if not their main man. And I think that Wolves will come away with a 1-0 win against Burnley.
I think that Burnley, they did pretty easy against Arsenal, just abysmal, but Wolves have been brilliant with Podence and Neto. Fabio Silva, of course, joining, and I think that he'll be able to score, hopefully, as well as Daniel Podence, in a 2-0 win to Wolves.
And finally, to end off this game week, a cracking London derby. Chelsea versus West Ham. And West Ham have been in pretty decent form. And Chelsea, what has gone wrong for them in the last 2 matches? losing 1-0 to Everton and then 2-1 to Wolves. I don't think Chelsea like playing away, but good news for them, they're at home, and I think they will win 2-1.
So just as Sandy said, a cracking London derby, and I think that you could say the underdogs of that game, West Ham, will just about scrape a draw against Chelsea, and it will finish off as a 1-1 affair.
So Frank Lampard with his first club, West Ham, I think that definitely his Chelsea side, they didn't having terrible. If they lose it under, I don't know what to say, but I just really have my fingers crossed that they don't lose, and I predict a 2-1 win, but really I'm more hoping than predicting here.
So yes, thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back next week for a roundup of our predictions and our next week's predictions.
So everybody, also another podcast may be coming out today or tomorrow about cricket. I'm pretty sure you've all heard that India got 36 all out. We're going to be discussing that soon. So thank you very much for watching.
Peace.